the beginning of the hearing.
Well, this hearing will come to order. We just finished a vote, and so the people will be coming from the floor, and we'll have another vote right around 4 o'clock, but I think we'll have time to get most of our work done. So let me start by welcoming our witnesses, Chairman Tom Wheeler, Commissioner Ajit Pai from the Federal Communications Commission. This is your third time together before the committee, and I appreciate your willingness to testify. Welcome to you both. Thanks for being here today. The focus of today's hearing is the FCC's fiscal year 2017 budget request. Although, like me, I'm sure our subcommittee members will have other policy items to discuss, let's start with the Commission's funding. The Commission has requested a total of $358 million for fiscal year 2017. However, the Commission is yet again requesting transfers of non-appropriated funding from the Universal Service Fund of $9.5 million. So in total resources, the Commission is requesting $368 million for 2017, which by all appearances looks like a decrease of $25.7 million, or a 7% decrease from last year. However, most of the decrease is because the remaining costs of the Commission's headquarters move are about 1/3 of last year's costs. Excluding the moving costs, the Commission is requesting an $11 million increase in salaries and expenses. And while the FCC is fee-funded, these fees are directly passed on to the consumers. Anyone who has a phone can see these fees in their monthly bill. For this reason, I believe the costs of the FCC's operations are closely felt by consumers and warrant close scrutiny by this committee and this Congress. This committee has held the FCC's operating level flat since fiscal year 2012 because we believe the Commission can and should do less with less. I believe this regulatory system works best when we can encourage innovation in the free market so that the costs to consumers stay as low as possible. The greater the amount of competition, the less need for regulation. It seems, however, that for the past few years, the Commission has been putting forward solutions that don't always reach a problem. Last year, the committee tried to codify what you, Chairman Wheeler, had stated publicly and repeatedly, that the Commission would not regulate rates for broadband service. We agree with you. We thought codifying this was a reasonable way to go and would give some certainty to the market. My thinking was, if you say you're not going to regulate rates, then why not write it down? However, when we reached out to your office for technical assistance in writing the language, we hit a brick wall. This was both surprising and disappointing. I'll have a few questions for both of you on this, and I understand our friends at the Energy and Commerce Committee marked up a bill today on this very topic. On a similar note, I thought the committee took a reasonable approach to the Commission's open Internet order. Last year, this committee included a legislative stay in our bill requiring the courts to determine the legality of the rule before it was implemented. A decision by the courts may be handed down any day now, and I know we will all be looking closely at the verdict. However, I believe both the Commission and the industry feel certain of an appeal by one side or the other, and therefore this committee maintains a position that a legislative stay is necessary until the courts have their final say. We're also looking forward to seeing how the upcoming incentive auction goes. The AWS auction at the end of 2014 was one of the, for the record books, just over $41 billion in revenue, and we expect the upcoming incentive auction to generate billions in dollars for deficit reduction. My understanding is the incentive auction will end within this current year, so I'm interested to hear why the Commission thinks it needs an additional $7 million or $124 million total for the administration of the auctions in 2017. The fiscal year 2016 omnibus included language grandfathering the existing joint sales agreements, the so-called JSAs, for 10 years. These are agreements between broadcast TV stations in the same market who will share advertising and other resources. The committee believes these agreements allow TV stations to better serve viewers in smaller markets and ensure that these communities continue to have access to numerous free local programming options. However, Chairman Wheeler, I'm hearing concerns from my broadcasters in my district regarding the Commission's recent actions relating to GSA, so I'll have a question or two about that as well. And finally, I know last Thursday the Commission proposed consumer privacy rules for Internet service providers. Many have expressed concern that these rules would not harmonize with the regulatory privacy framework that's already in place. I look forward to hearing from you both on your thoughts on how you think the FCC should best move forward in this area. I'm eager to hear from both of you about your thoughts on the future of the Commission. The FCC has significant work to do, and I hope that we can talk today about how this agency can operate more efficiently and more effectively. So thank you both for the work that you do and your staff, and I look forward to your testimony. Now I'd like to turn to my ranking member, Mr. Serrano, for an opening statement.